Hi and welcome. I'm trying to learn maritime studies, today the Atlantic Ocean, and after we've done it, we're gonna do shoulder impingement training. And if you participate in the shoulder impingement training, then it's at your own risk. And this is part 2 of the Atlantic. Now, we were talking about the Rhine. Here was written that it is also the drainage, the Atlantic Ocean, area of many of the world's great rivers, including the Zaire in Africa, the Amazon in South America, and the Mississippi in basically the United States. It starts a little bit in Canada, I think, the United States and the Rhine. Now, and I came more or less across, I did a bit of research in that direction overall, and now the Rhine starts in Switzerland. But the Alpen, the upper part of the Rhine starts in Switzerland. More or less, the Rhine starts then in Germany at a bit big lake. I don't know what it's called. So I did not research the Rhine, just overall. At a big lake, but it starts technically in Switzerland. Now, and I said it comes out somewhere between. No, yes, somewhere between Germany and France, and that is actually true. Now, the case is that Germany and France have just a little bit border together, just I don't know, 100 kilometers or something. Now, there's Germany and there's France, and they just meet for a little time. France is way more south than Germany, so Germany lies here, and France is only to the half of it, and France is more down than Germany. And they share just around 100 kilometers of border. And the Rhine goes then at that part along where they share the border. But then the Rhine goes through Germany, through 300-400 kilometers. And as I said, it comes then out somewhere between France and Germany. But neither in Germany nor in France. It comes out in the Netherlands. So there's no France and there's Germany. In the middle there are the Netherlands, also Belgium, Luxembourg, and I think it was another one. Belgium, Luxembourg, and Netherlands. It comes also in the Netherlands. And it doesn't come out, which I think is very interesting, as one river. It splits up and comes out into multiple. But not like a little delta, like, I don't know if it's happening, but with the Amazon and the Mississippi, I think, I don't know, with the Mississippi, not just at the end, just the last few kilometers, but earlier in multiple rivers. Whatever. It starts in Switzerland, technically, more or less, than at the big lake in Germany. It goes then a little bit along the border of Germany and France, then long time for Germany, and then comes out in the Netherlands, which sits between France and Germany, but France is more south than Germany. A lot, actually, if you look at it. No, okay, that was it. One of the currents which make up the North Atlantic gyre is the Gulf Stream, which transports warm water at the rate of 75 to 115 cubic meters per second north and east from the Florida area to the western shores of Europe, keeping them free from ice in winter. Okay, what we're saying is that here from Florida, which is with end here at the United States, it's the state of the United States, there comes the Gulf Stream transporting warm water to here, to the western part of Europe. And that is the reason why Europe, lying on more or less the same height as Canada, is iceless and pretty warm, all things considered. As it swings east across the ocean, the Gulf Stream becomes the North Atlantic Drift. Warm water also moves south along the east coast of South America. The warm water moves south along the east coast of South America. I'm always wondering about it. South America, that is that part, there's Antarctica. But it's down there. But the other thing is, South Africa is here, that's also pretty high. Now, what I basically want to express with it is, I have quite some wonderments about the climatic things around the world with the climate zones, and how they are acting now out with being at the different levels on the globe. So, and here's something written which fits into it. Warm water also moves south along the east coast of South America in the form of a deflection of a south equatorial current, but there is no South Atlantic equivalent of a Gulf Stream. Okay, there is no Gulf Stream here in the south. There is one here from Florida to Europe and transporting warm water from here to the north, to Europe, and there's some water going down the east coast of South America, but there's no Gulf Stream like that in the southern hemisphere. The North Atlantic has the heaviest sea. The book is actually not that heavy. It looks heavy, but it's not that heavy. The North Atlantic has the heaviest sea traffic in the world and contains a large proportion of its fishing grounds. Now the book is from 1978, if I'm not wrong. 1978. So it means it could be that something has changed there. The North Atlantic has the heaviest sea traffic in the world and contains a large proportion of its fishing grounds. Inside of the North Atlantic is a large proportion of the fishing grounds used on Earth. That's what the sentence says. They mean there is a lot of fishing done in the North Atlantic, and also a lot of freight is transported. Mainly here. But there is also a lot of freight transported also here, but very much here through the Mediterranean Sea and the Suez Canal. And it is the Red Sea, I think. Yeah, it's the Red Sea. The Black Sea is not here up. But the Red Sea is there. No, here. These includes the shallow waters of the European continental shelf, so the fishing grounds. So it's quite shallow here, do they say, in the North Atlantic. I don't think they mean it's important for the ships, it's important for the fish which are living there. Now, what influence does the Gulf Stream has on the fish living in the North Sea and the Northern Atlantic at the coast of Europe? These include the shallow waters of the European continental shelf, the ground banks of Newfoundland, where east of Canada. Newfoundland and Grand Newfoundland banks. And the Icelandic waters. There's Iceland. In contrast, the warm tropical waters are said to be largely biological deserts, although they are well known for game fish of Florida and in the Gulf of Mexico. What are basically saying, there are not so much fish living in the middle part, in the warm tropical waters. There are not so much fish living. They are well known for game fish of Florida and the Gulf of Mexico. Do we say that people are fishing there for game, for fun? Whatever. There are oil reserves in the sedimentary rocks of the continental shelves. I never thought about it. It is because it is in the continental shelves. What is because there are these fracking things, these very neighbor. These, I don't know what they call it. These things which try to get oil from the sediments, but they're out in the ocean. Now, the question is, why are we not in the center of the ocean? Now, one idea would be, it's just too deep. Why should someone go there 4 or 5 kilometers down? But what if the other answer is, it is in continental shelves, the oil. And the oil is not there in the ocean, in the middle. The oil is at the continental shelves close to the coasts. So basically the question is there a difference in the soil, whether it is completely down at the ground, in the center of the Atlantic, or if it's part of the continental shelf? And what if, when the world looked differently 200 million years ago probably, were the parts which are today part of the big ocean here then also part of the ocean, or were they part of the land? How is there a difference between the continental shelf and the ocean? But maybe that's not so much maritime studies. There are oil reserves in the sedimentary rocks of the continental shelves. Oil has been discovered in the Gulf of Mexico. So here in the Gulf of Mexico, but Mexico is it, and south of the United States, and in the North Sea. Here in the Gulf of Mexico and in the North Sea, by Europe. Off the coast of Greenland, that is Iceland, in the shallow waters of Brazil, that is down there, and in the submarine plateau of the coast of the southern tip of South America, on which lie the Falkland Islands. But there could be more, people just haven't found it. No, because the question is now, can we make a resume and say where and where's oil in the Atlantic Ocean for geological studies or whatever? And we wanted to just mention, maybe there is something, Canada or Africa, just no one has drilled it. Okay, that was a part of the Atlantic. We're going to come back to at least 3 things. We're going to come back. I want to make a little video about the key data of the Atlantic. We're going to just say it has 80 million square kilometer size, that's the deepest place, and that is the percentage of salt or whatever, and the temperature. So a few key data. And then I want to make a presentation a little bit about the Saragossa Sea. Maybe it's just 1 or 2 sentences, but I want to know what he has exactly written about the Saragossa Sea in the middle. And then one big about the Atlantic itself. That means, if you were here for maritime studies for the Atlantic Ocean, you can go directly to the next part of maritime studies, Atlantic Ocean, where we try to work on our free presentation about these 3 things. If you were here for maritime studies, you can go directly to the next part. If you stay here and participate in the shoulder impingement training, then this better down is good. They're having a good and stable stance, and we're doing shoulder circuits. Back on back, up, and front, and down. Again, back, up, and front, and down. Down, front, up, back, down. And now long arms with strong fists. Go as far back as you can with the shoulders. Right up, to front, and down. Again, back, up, front, down, up, back, down, front, back, and down. And now, long arms with strong fists. Go back with the shoulders and down. Press the shoulders together, the shoulder blades, and now turn the arms to the inside with fists with your arms. So, shoulders down, and together, arms to the inside. And arms to the outside, shoulders down, and together. Change, arms to the inside, shoulders down, and change the last time, arms to the outside, shoulders down, and the next exercise, arms to the side, the fists a bit in front, turn the arms in front, shoulders down, together. Arms back, shoulders up, and in front. Arms in front, shoulders down, and together. Arms back, shoulders up, and in front. And next exercise, the shrug. Lift the arms up. Do this only if you can do it without injury yourself, or if it doesn't cause pain. So do it not if it causes pain. Lift the arms up, shoulders up, and go down. Arms up, shoulders up, and down. One more time. Arms up, arms together, down to the outside. And with some dial, you can use a soccer t-shirt or something like this. Have it with the long arm at the outside, let it fall down, and catch it again, and wander slowly in front. To the other side. And now, stretching one arm in front, shoulders back and down. Pull the arm and have flat fingers. Try to relax the arm. Go back with the shoulder and power to the sky. And the other arm is short. Shoulders back, down, pull the arm and have flat fingers, try to relax the arm, cover it back with a shoulder and turn the palm of the sky. And that was the short impingement training. I thank you very much and until next time.